Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Before we jump into it, wrist check. I'm wearing the GMW 5610 on a combi bracelet from G-Shock. Now today's video, we're going to talk about the announcement that Hamilton recently dropped on us, which is they are finally releasing the long anticipated Murphy model, tying in with the film Interstellar. Now I've looked at the Hamilton groups, different watch groups, forums recently, and I've seen a lot of comments talking about how Hamilton got it wrong, that it's too big at 42 millimeters, that it's too expensive at just about $1,000 US retail. In this video, I'm going to tell you why I think you're wrong. I think it's the perfect size and it's the proper price. Now let's talk about the size. In the movie, the watch is actually 42 millimeters, and I'm going to drop in some screenshots here where you can see the two Hamilton watches that are featured prominently in the film. You can see it's a large piece. This is a prop piece. Now Hamilton, when the movie was released just about 5 years ago, they didn't actually release this one for sale. Now, I mean, they have a few other models that are similar, but not this exact model. And I think finally Hamilton is wising up to the fact that many fans of the film, as well as fans of Hamilton, want this model, so they're releasing it. And what I like is they're releasing it exactly like the prop that was used in the film. 42 millimeters, the creamy tone of the lume. I mean, everything about this, from the brushed flanks of the case to the polished bezel, this is spot on. And this is really nice to see from Hamilton. So yes, I mean, 40 millimeters, that would probably be an ideal size for most wrists, you know, smaller wrists, larger wrists. But the movie is 42 millimeters, and I'm glad that Hamilton is staying true to what is in the film. I think that's a good move. Now, going back to their history, this is not the first time Hamilton has worked on a science fiction film. Back in the 1960s, they designed a watch that was used in 2001: A Space Odyssey. And I'll drop in some pictures of that here too. I think this is probably one of the coolest watches that I've ever seen. Definitely the coolest Hamilton that I've ever seen. If you watch the movie, you can see the watch on the different astronauts, the characters in the film, throughout the duration of the movie. So, I mean, it's really, really cool that they did that. Now, 50 years after the film was released, Hamilton basically reissued the watch. It's very similar, but it's not exactly like the prop used in the film. It has since sold out. They're very hard to get your hands on one. They're also very expensive too, coming in at over $1,000. The thing that they got wrong is it's not quite like the movie watch, which is what they did right here with the Murph tying into Interstellar. It's basically exactly the same watch. If you look at the seconds hand, you can see the Morse code done in a lacquer spelling out Eureka, which is just a really cool little touch. Now let's talk about that second point, the price. A lot of people are kind of moaning and groaning about the price, and I can get that. Hamilton offers several watches that carry the same caliber movement for far less, about half the price. And Hamilton, you know, they're one of those watches that are really good for bang for buck and value for money. So can you get a watch that has quote unquote more bang for buck for what you pay? Absolutely you can. But keep in mind, this is not about the watch. It's not really even about the brand. It's more about the movie and tying that in. Hamilton got Nathan Crowley, who was the set designer for Interstellar, to come up with this packaging, this Tesseract packaging, which I think looks super cool. So when you factor everything in, that it is basically a one-to-one replica of the prop watch. It comes in a really cool, specially designed case that are only going to be the first, I think, 2550. If I'm right there, about 2,500 units are going to get this special packaging. I think that's completely in line with today's market. I don't think they'll have any problems selling out of all 2,500 units. Now, later on, could you see some drop on the secondary market? Some that don't have the special packaging? Sure. And if you want to play that waiting game, you know, nobody's going to fault you for that. But what I'm seeing here, the 42 millimeter size with this really cool limited release, at least initially, I think is a spot on move, and I'm really excited about it. I hope Hamilton continues to do this with other watches used in pop culture. I would love to see them actually reissue the same watch used in 2001: A Space Odyssey. That would be incredible. So anyways, guys, just a little video today for me to tell you why I think a lot of you are wrong out there and why this Murph announcement is just a really great thing for us as consumers. So anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next video.